For information about investing in character-led companies, please visit www.rocinvestments.com and join the growing number of investors choosing to make character a priority when investing their money.
You so elegantly have taken the 4 character habits into a new universe of application, which is kind of now that you play it out like this, it's so duh. I mean, it's like of course this is a form-fitted solution to an inclusion type of solving inclusion type problems and differences amongst us problems. It's pretty powerful. Let me maybe push you in the direction of, you mentioned the book as context for trying to explain possibly this application for use of the character habits. What was your hope for the book? Where does the book stand? And then what would be its use, in an ideal certain circumstance, once it's released and available to the world?
Right. Thanks. So the book really is a book. Are you there, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry. Let's start again because you got frozen there.
Yeah. That's okay. If it freezes, it actually catches up for itself. So don't worry about
that. Right. So the book really is about lived experiences of both Fred Keel and myself, from the lens of through storytelling. So, and we wanted to exclusion. So it talks about, it's really used storytelling so that we could, and they could also sort of open up their eyes to, wow, I would have never identified with as many people as possible, and they could identify with our stories as well. And I thought that was a thing. I would have never, like a story as an example. I was telling one of my friends a story as to how whenever I go shopping, I always have to get the receipt at the end, right? And she said, why? I said, because if I'm stopped and I don't have a receipt, then the amount of interrogation that I have to go through would be so much than you, right? And she said, what? And I said, yeah, I always have to ask. I mean, I've done it all my life, and it is now, have you paid for your shopping? And I'm just like, of course. Do you see what I mean? Necessary, because I've even seen it when when they stop, they just do a random check and say, So these are things that white people may not even be aware happens, but this is my lived experience. So we wanted it to be super relatable, and then Fred did exactly the same in terms of the sort of family that he came from, and how these exclusionary circumstances, they shape your life, and what do you do when you're in them, right? So it starts off with a lot of storytelling, but then what it then does is that it says, okay, now that you can identify that, and also you as the reader can also think of many circumstances where you have felt excluded, what is it that we can do together? So there are, there's a lot of questioning and enabling, I suppose, the reader to become vulnerable and to say, okay, what change can I make? Because I think a lot of white audiences are either stuck where they are, or they're annoyed, or they are completely worn out when it comes to anything related to racism, inclusion, diversity, equity. There's a switch off button. And so what we're saying is, guys, don't switch off. Please don't switch off. At least put the switch back on, right? Are actually ways that we can show you in very, very simple ways that you can start with your family, can start with your organization, because these are now behavioral changes that have to occur, right? And so we give you a step-by-step guide that says, in 28 days, you can do something different every single day to move towards inclusion.
For information about investing in character-led companies, please visit www.rocinvestments.com and join the growing number of investors choosing to make character a priority when investing their money.